Are you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pat is here.
Here we go. Big show, everyone. Welcome to Wildstorm Wednesday. It's an earlier broadcast. I'm still experimenting with, just like ways to go about these live streams. Can we do two things? Check out Dark Hero right now on Indiegogo. And then over here, if you go to akapad.com, you join the Wolf Pack, become enrolled in the AKA Pad Army, and you get, for right now, 2 free trading cards. So how's that for cool? While supplies last. So we've been doing a lot of trading cards with Wildstorm, and the big reason why we do so many trading cards for Wildstorm Wednesday, it's very simple, okay? When I was growing up, okay, Image hit, I was there for the pre-Image boom, so I knew all the guys from Marvel. Image hit, Youngblood, blew my mind. Spawn blew my mind. Wildcats I never really connected with, and that it wasn't until the Authority came out that I reverse engineered what I liked about the Authority, read up on those later issues of Stormwatch, read up through Stormwatch Volume 2, which was about 12 issues going into the Authority, and then essentially ignoring all of Wildstorm outside of, respecting the artwork and the coloring. I mean, at one time, I think my absolute Wildstorm knowledge was Fantastic Four, Heroes Reborn, the Jim Lee stuff, because I felt like those 6 issues of his were his absolute best. So when I started live streaming earlier this year, and I wanted to continue Wildstorm Wednesdays because these are holdovers, or this was a series that was started on my Twitter feed. I kind of realized that I not only did I have a gap in understanding the comics, but a huge gap and a huge memory loss on exactly how important and huge, impactful, and awesome the Wildstorm Productions trading cards were. And, with all deep dives, the further you go, the more and more you're into, the more, you're almost fascinated by what fascinates you within the deep dive, and you keep digging to kind of get more of that spike, more of that fireball shot. So, here we are, right? We're going to be doing big packs. We got over a box worth of Gen-13 1996, and we're going to also be doing Joe Chiodo. So what I did for these, okay, which is right here, I already pre-opened them because I had to make sure that the cards don't stick together. We had that issue with the small Spawn cards from Wildstorm, the oversized ones, and we had this issue with another trading card set. Skull Diamond 94. What is up, dude? Skull Diamond. I forgot my alcohol. I had alcohol on my first floor, and I forgot it. So I'm doing this dry. So let's get some of these trading cards out of the way, because we have to. I don't know. Maybe I should just show off a little bit of Dark Hero. So when you're working on the comic that is reliant on. When you work on the comic that's reliant on crowdfunding and social media, social media traffic, the last thing you want to do is show off a page as boring as this. But we have one of the origin pages here. We have one of the death pages here. This character, Dark Hero, receives many deaths. Active development every single day in all of my feeds. We're chipping away at Dark Hero. So Mr. Hex is in the house. So we got these. I got these off of eBay, but I also so usually what happens, okay, is you might get a score. You might be like, boom, and I messaged the guy, and I'm like, look, like I'm underpaying for these, like, and I know it sucks because he had them up for auction. And I reach out to him, and I'm like, look, and I do this with all my auctions, even my buy it nows. And I say, like, what do you have anything else like this? And some of these guys don't know that, like, they don't know what they have. And this guy literally just has a whole warehouse worth of stuff. He's not too far from where I live too. And so I send him like the logo, like, I'm like, hey, what else do you got from Wildstorm Productions? And he kind of sends me like a picture of these. Okay. And he's like, like, here we go. Because I sent him this one too. And he goes, I got these. Now, a box of these, okay, about $300. So, and I'm like, what do you want? Like, what are we talking about? Like, why don't you make up some of the difference? Give me something good. He says same price. So I paid $10. Okay. Gen-13 box is well over 100. We have over a box of cards right here. So, some people just, they don't care. They just want to get rid of their junk. So a couple quick notes. I want to kind of show off the graphic design work of the Gen-13 cards. Like, look, you can really, I think a lot of your positioning on how you rate a trading card set comes from the consistency of the illustrations in the front and the design and the intent of what's on the backs. So I love that these are two separate designs. I really do. Like, one's modern and one's like easily inspired by the 60s Austin Power-ish looking stuff. So let's get into this, because I'm not familiar with this set. I know we have one subset here to look for, 1 in 9 packs. And then for the, we'll talk about the Joe Chiodos when we get to them. So the odds, let's get into it. 1 in 9 Gen alloy cards, 1 in 9. And I'm assuming there's like 6 of them. So conceivably, if we get a little bit lucky, we might get like a whole alloy Gen-13 set. Really cool. I mean, like, really. So this is a Jay Lee card. And like, I kind of hate to say, I think this is one of the worst Jay Lee drawings of the era. Who we got here? We got Herberto Ramos. No, Richard Johnson. I'm pretty sure Richard Johnson and I follow one another, right? Do we? Got Burnout, Grunge. Dude, I really do love how aggressive Wildstorm was with the like bathing suit, the near nudity of the Gen-13 line. It really very progressive too, I think, because it was young. It captured, Gen-13 captured the young imagination, and they were able. Here we go. We got a nice Jim Lee card here, everyone. Very nice Jim Lee card. But yeah, Gen-13 captured the comic book lexicon, okay? And essentially, and yeah, this is based on the Twitter discussion I'm kind of having right now. So Gen-13, the miniseries, it's a tropey mess, right? And then once that took off, and it didn't take off from the ideas. It took off from J. Scott Campbell's artwork, okay? Oh, look at this. Which one is this? GA3. All right. We'll put this one to the side. This is a J. Scott Campbell card too. Free Fall. Roxy. I always loved her hair too. So cool. I think we have a little bit of our first bonus card. We'll just kind of keep everything right here like so. Yeah. Oh, is this a John Stinsman? It is. John Stinsman, this guy here, used to work at a comic shop that I also used to work at. And that comic shop was called Hall of Heroes. It's in New Jersey. Shout out to John Stinsman. Tony Daniel. Tony Daniel's 10th is definitely going to be a big deep dive analysis from us. His 10th and F5 books are really effing cool. Yeah, so let's get into. Oh, do we have our first bonus card? Wow, look at this one. Oh, no. What do we have here? We got some stickage. Checklist. So the alloy cards. So the alloy cards are labeled JA. Okay. So maybe we'll just keep the checklist there. But yeah, so what led to the popularity of Gen 13? Mac Broom. Fantastic. And see what I mean about the, Wildstorm, Jim Lee editorial didn't shy away from the sexuality of these characters. I think this is great. This is another great card. I think it's Pablo Parents. Good old Pablo. But yeah. And when we think about the time of the 90s, it really was like a youth rebellion. It was a youth movement. And Gen 13 did capture so much of that attitude. So when they went from miniseries to monthly series for Gen 13, we kind of had two things that happened. We had an animated movie that pretty much was like happening as the original Volume 2 was happening, okay? So they were developing an animated series. Adam Hughes here. Again, like not shying away from the sexuality. Volume 2 animated movie, incongruence. And then the series itself took a turn. It became almost like whimsical and fun. And it really, I mean, like for maybe like 2 years. This is Scott Clark. Scott Clark, our boy. For about 2 years, Gen 13 like dominated the youth comic book market. And it was kind of inspired by another Marvel book called Generation X. And the original title for Gen 13 was Gen X. You know what? I like this card a lot. This is like the Superman pose here. Mitch Bird. This is a nice looking. Look at this one. Who drew this? Matt Haley. Look, Wildstorm. The reason why we do a deep dive into Wildstorm. Also, look at this Gilligan's Island. See what I mean about the whimsy part? Gen 13 like does represent really what made 90s comics. I think Gen 13 represents 90s comic books as much as Spawn and the Max. And I think when it comes to those books defining that era, look at this freaking card. Holy shit. Firepower. Dude, awesome. Yeah, it's really your three-headed dragon is Gen 13, the Max, and Spawn. Yeah, dude, we all let's all get into cards. Hey, dude, keep in mind, I'm into cards, but I also should be drawing Dark Hero, right? Man, we're almost, this whole pack is almost like a straight up repeat. The eyes for this Fairchild are bothering me, and it's Dave Cockrum. Dave Cockrum of X-Men fame, one of the greatest costume designers in comic book history. We have Nightcrawler, Colossus, Kosar, all to thank Dave Cockrum for. And you see that this is where the 90s, it got the old guard very well. And the notion, like the two fronts that got the old guard was that it was pulling in this anime influence, this like bigger eye influence that even Jim Lee has been on record for regretting in pursuing. And it was material. So everything went from brush to pen when it comes to production artwork. And a lot of the old timers could not keep up with that. And that's where a lot of this resentment around Liefeld, Lee. This is a great looking card. Matt Garner. Alex Garner. I was calling Matt Garner. Alex Garner, the inker of J. Scott Campbell here. Also, computer specialist. Also, right now, a fantastic digital painter. So we also might get into another stream later tonight. But I was at the 9 and 5. Terry Dodson. Terry Dodson would go into the Harley Quinn first monthly series, and he's drawn one of the best Harley Quinns of all time. He's also somewhat considered a Adam Hughes knockoff, but that doesn't bother me at all. This is another cool one. Ryan Benjamin. Look at those legs. Ryan Benjamin coming in hot. Look at this. This is, here we go, Trevor Scott. So Trevor Scott came in, really became the closeout artist for Deathblow, and almost was just like a go-to guy for filling in issues. And getting back to one of my points is that Wildstorm became very efficient in completing projects, like including endless trading card sets at the time. Maintaining monthly books, unlike any of their competitors, meaning Extreme Studios, Todd McFarlane Productions. People forget that Todd McFarlane attempted a Crow series, a Cygor series, kind of maintained the same in Twitch series if it wasn't for Brian Michael Bendis. This card's so simple, but it works so well. This Jim Lee card. Yeah, and that's one of the big takeaways from Wildstorm is that they put the product like first, and they did 2 giant crossovers. I mean, one of them, Fire from Heaven, right? That's like a 22 issue crossover. And then again, like bleeding into the Authority, Planetary, the Monarchy. All the way into The Boys. So anyone out there on Amazon, with Amazon Prime, The Boys originally was a Wildstorm book. Wow, look at this Adam Warren card. Wow. Dude, I even dig the computer airbrushing for the clouds for this. This card's incredible. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, and it's just very ironic that somehow all of Image Comics got this reputation of being like somehow late. And in some cases, like that really kind of gets drawn and connected to the Deathmate books. Because I remember those too. I mean, it just seemed like they never came out. Seemed like Young Blood never really finished or came out. And I would really say for the ones that mattered, Wildstorm, Extreme Studios, and Todd McFarlane Productions. A lot of the Extreme books really seem to just be late or endlessly kind of, I don't know. Like last week, we did the Grifter X-Overs, and one of those books was a Bad Rock. And it's very, very difficult to determine the publishing order of the Bad Rock solo series outside of Bad Rock and Company. So people, we're not doing too good when it comes to our bonus cards here. I thought I would have maybe at least 3 by now. Unbelievable though, right? But look, you get these for this cheap, or this inexpensive, and I'll get at least 2 sets out of these, and then I can probably pick up the chase cards on somewhere. And then there was also 2 separate oversized trading cards that were available within the boxes for these, which I was, that was also a gimmick from Wildstorm. They actually had it was like a disc also, like a round disc that I believe the Savage Dragon cards had that disc. And one of the Wildstorm Wildcat sets. So we're just getting a ton of repeats here. I'm kind of at the level where I just want to call it quits on these. There we go. That's a new card. Rainmaker, Arm Wrestling, Grunge. This is a nice one. Rainy Green. Yeah. Rainy Green, too, did a really cool book called Dolls. And this one keeps sticking out. Alan Ime. Yeah. We've seen him before. So Gen-13, one of my little points from earlier, the disappointing thing with Gen-13 is they never got a action figure set while they were hotter than hot. Their movie got snuffed, which I think when it comes to Jim Lee, kind of, I don't know. I mean, I guess everything got money wise, right? The money must have worked out to where they could have just killed the movie. This is a great one. Look, Jay Scott. Here's another one of the chase cards. You can tell the Jay Scott stuff. I mean, it just jumps right out. So I guess. So here's the funny thing. We have one regular Jim Lee card that looks like a this pose too. I mean, this pose has been done a million times. I want to say even something like this exists for Top Cow. There's a Top Cow image. I don't think it's Witchblade. Might have been Weapon Zero. But yeah, and got a great one here too. Jason Pearson. Jason Pearson too, with the Wildstorm Gallery, had some blowout stellar cards. But yeah, and Gen-13 never got action figures. It's phenomenal that never happened. Even now, there's no really effective 3D representation of any of the Gen-13 characters. I think that's a little sad. We're gearing up here to the end. And I'll say this: getting this, receiving this stuff, and then this is nice shadows here. Roger Robinson, I like this. But yeah, getting this stuff in the mail, then kind of sitting on it. It's the worst because you kind of want to crack everything open, but I save it for the streams. I save it for all of us so we get to hang out. So we should have got at least 3 chase cards if we're going to kind of calculate the packs. So let's see. Final stack here. One more J. Scott. And honestly, I mean, I get the idea of using Jay Scott's artwork as the chase, but it is disappointing. Look at this grunge card. Is this Gene Ha? No, Rob Stats. This is a new pack. We haven't seen this pack before. I love that this is called Extreme. Free fall on rollerblades. This is another great looking card. China Clugson Major. Look at that freaking card. But collectively, too, like these cards are still impressive because there's a ton of coloring. These are complete drawings. If we consider the original production size for these, the original art size, there's a lot to be desired with executing this. So, and there's 9 chase cards. So it's effectively, back in the day, you would have to have bought 3 boxes of cards and hope you have 0 chase card duplicates to get all 9 chase cards. Yeah, prophecy unfulfilled for these. We got one more pack to go. Let's try and get that chase. Okay. One more alloy card. Let's go. And alloy cards are usually the second card. So that is going to be a huge negative. I do like this grunge killing all these ninjas by Ron Lim. Wow. Jeez, that does, technically some of the line work does look like Ron Lim. Crazy. Ron Lim really became the standout artist, the consistent artist for Stormwatch after Scott Clark. Like Stormwatch had 3 movements. It was Scott Clark, Tom Rainey, and Ron Lim. And then, like Brian Hitch taking over for the Authority. All right, so these Art of Joe Chiodo cards, which is like, honestly, this is the real steal here. It's a real steal on the notion that, like little known set, fully painted. When it comes to being a colorist in comics and a computer colorist, but Joe Chiodo, there's Conan the Barbarian art from him. He's done a lot. He's done everything. I think as a career, what he's done collectively, I think he's done everything he could have done. And it's up to us to know what he did, how great he was, his evolution, because we'll see here. Okay. Well, here, we'll get the one pack I tested. He grew up with a traditional style, and then he develops this hyper anime rendering style here. I mean, look at that card. And here's the funny thing. So I was really excited about these because these were promoted to be printed on watercolor paper, and they're clearly not. So yeah, a little bit of false advertising there. Chase wise, we are look for limited edition swimsuit chase cards. Odds of finding chase cards are 1 in 9 packs. Right, and then here, 1 in 9. So double ratio, both cards from 96. But look at this guy. Oh yeah. Okay, so this one, here we go. This is one of the chase cards. This is the texture I was expecting. This is watercolor paper. This feels really nice. Wow. This is cool. Cybernary. Okay. Second pack, people. Same as the Stormwatch. Look at some of these. I've become a huge Joe Chiodo fanboy getting into the Wildstorm Wednesdays. We did one of his art books for Twitter. All the Twitter Wildstorm Wednesdays, eventually will come out on YouTube. They'll just be available. Like, they'll just be dumps. Look, Lee Harvey Oswald. This is so crazy. I mean, this card alone is phenomenal. That's like a movie poster there. Road Warriors. Yeah, and Joe Chiodo, outside of Wildstorm, he did do his own original creation too, right? It was called the Mechanics, I believe. He had the Mechanics, and like Art Bear had Chrono Mechanics or something. It's like dueling mechanics. These cards are just really nice looking. Look at this one. Voodoo on the side of a bomber, probably a B-52. Yeah, I mean, like he really did. I mean, Joe Chiodo had a figure line from Lightning Toys, the same company that brought us our Creed figures. Like the same company that made these did a Joe Chiodo female line, like a swimsuit line. I think one of the poses was this. Dude, this stuff is just it's incredible. I'm hoping that I get a complete set. I don't even care too much about these bonus cards. Like his Wildstorm drawings. Like, look at Taboo here. They're just so freaking. They are. Look, Fairchild. This is. I'll say this right now. This is a top 10 trading card set. In my eyes. Dude, this is his classic pose. I feel like I should do something to pay homage to that. Yeah, and Joe Chiodo's website still there, still active. I don't know too much about what's happening with him in social media. Right? I don't think again, like another guy, I'm not sure that he's on Twitter. The consistency of these cards, it's just phenomenal. And I love that he's mixing up Wildstorm, like the Wildstorm babes, and his own, like again, like almost like Bruce Timm, like pinup style stuff that we did last week for Lookbook. Wow, look at the colors for that Z-Lot. There we go. Another swimsuit bonus card. Clan of the Cave Bear. Look at that. Dude, these swimsuit cards are awesome. I mean, I'm not for like the gimmick-driven sets. Kind of like the chromium card sets that we did here before. But I would be all for a watercolor paper trading card set. I really would. Really cool. Really cool. I have an overflow of trading card packs. Very similar to when we did the Spawn cards. Wow, look, see what I mean about him being traditional? I love the contrast here. Yeah, and hey, we're also too, like, time-wise, we're experimenting with just earlier, like an earlier broadcast. So far out of like 50 packs, it looks like we're going to get 4 chase cards. like 60 packs actually, right? Dude, these cards, what's the subset for these ones? 1984. That's when he worked on that. 19. So this is really it's part career retrospective too, which I always hated about those early Comic Images fantasy cards. So that's a lot of like what drove the original non-sports card market was this company called Comic Images. And they would just get like Boris Vallejo, the Hildenbrick brothers, and just do these Ken Kelly, these like giant trading card sets. It will be like 100 of their paintings, 100 cards, and it wouldn't be any new material. And the industry kind of like caught up to consumer needs, and people just wanted, like more original art. You can give us some of these things you're familiar with, but give us more original artwork for our trading cards. And that's kind of like how Wildstorm started. The first 2 Wildstorm trading card sets were archives, Archive 1 and Archive 2. And I don't think, they lots of reprints. Oh, here we go. This would be the card I wanted. Fairchild. Nice. All right, people, we did good. We got 3 of the swimsuit cards. Yeah, and the market kind of responded to wanting more of a unique product. So all of everything of your trading card set needs to be touched by a human hand. I do like the backs for these. I think that this is a little bit of the Wildstorm gallery. A little too confusing, but very nice though. Very legible. Last 3 packs, everyone. Come on, let's get another swimsuit chase card. Papa Bear needs a new pair of shoes. Oh, this card's just awesome looking though. Look at that. Look at that design in the background. The sectional, that's awesome. Really cool. All right. Last one. Come on. We got ourselves another swimsuit in here. Nope. It's all right though. It does look like I have a complete set. I didn't spot the checklist. So let's see, can we get the we'll burn a little bit more time though. Do we have a checklist for Joe Chiodo? Not seeing one. Jeez. But I am very grateful to get these for such an incredible price. Like both stacks of cards. Very grateful. Dude, look at this Viking bait. So some of this too is for me to organize these and to do later update videos or broadcasts where I kind of get a little bit more detail into each of the cards, what I like about them, what I don't, any info about the cards that I can dig up. Is this a trading card set that does not have a checklist? It's just like the first one ever. I'm also looking at the numbers here. Here we go. Card 90. Which one's 90? Oh, this babe. So 90 cards, including the checklist, lithograph cards. 9. Wow. So realistically speaking, we should have got maybe 5 or 6 chase cards. We are too shy, but I don't know. I'm really happy with these. These have such a good texture to them. Good feel. We got 2 of the GA cards. Very cool. And who knows? Now I'll double check the stack. I could have missed one of these, but I don't know. The J. Scott Campbell artwork was stood out when I was going through those packs, so I'm pretty confident. Everyone, thanks a million. Wildstorm Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out. Sign up for Dark Hero. Hit akapad.com. Sign up for some free trading cards and rock and roll.